The entire medical history books have been lying to you about how you get sick, and it started over 100 years ago. You have been told that your body is like a sealed vessel of wine, perfectly clean until some nasty little bug invades from the outside and makes you rot. But that story is nothing more than a house of cards that collapses the second you actually look at the science. The reality is that the germ theory of disease, the very foundation of modern medicine, was called the greatest scientific silliness of the age by the actual experts of the time. Let's go back to the 1800s. You had a guy named Louis Pasteur, who was a known plagiarist and fraud, pushing this idea that germs are these invisible enemies attacking us from the air. But his rival, Antoine Bechamp, a highly respected scientist, proved that Pasteur was wrong. Bechamp showed that these microbes aren't invaders. They are already inside of us. He called them microzymas. They are the building blocks of life. When your body is healthy, they live in harmony with you. But when your internal environment, your terrain, gets trashy due to bad food, toxins, and poor living, these little guys change shape. They evolve into bacteria, yeast, or fungus to clean up the mess. Think of it this way. If you see a house on fire, you always see firemen there. But you don't assume the firemen caused the fire. They are there to put it out. Germs are the firemen. They are the scavengers of dead tissue. Blaming them for the disease is like blaming the flies for the garbage pile. They are only there because the garbage is there. This isn't just one guy saying this. Florence Nightingale, the founder of modern nursing, said the exact same thing. She literally wrote that there are no specific diseases, just specific disease conditions. She saw smallpox grow up in dirty, overcrowded rooms where it couldn't possibly have been caught from someone else. She watched diseases transform into one another, like a fever turning into typhoid. She said, looking at diseases as separate entities that you catch is like thinking a dog can just appear without a parent dog. It's all about the condition of the body. Then you have the heavy hitters like Rudolf Virchow, the father of modern pathology. He fought Pasteur's theory tooth and nail. He said disease comes from the breakdown of order within the cells, not from an invader. Or look at the founders of chiropractic, the Palmers. B.J. Palmer famously said that if the germ theory were true, nobody would be alive to believe it. We are breathing in millions of germs every single second. If they were really these deadly killers, the human race would have been wiped out in an hour. But the biggest smoking gun comes from a 1913 investigation by Dr. Herbert Snow. He tore the germ theory apart. He pointed out that to prove a germ causes a disease, you have to follow Koch's postulates. These are the rules of logic. First, the germ must be found in every case of the disease. Second, it must not be found in healthy people. Third, you have to be able to isolate it and make someone else sick with it. Guess what? No germ has ever satisfied all those rules. Not one. Take diphtheria. The guys who discovered the bacteria couldn't find it in 35% of the cases, and they found it in tons of perfectly healthy kids. That fails the test immediately. Or look at tuberculosis. The bacteria doesn't even show up until months after the symptoms start. How can the effect appear before the cause? It makes no sense. Here is the craziest part. Scientists have actually drunk pure cultures of these so-called deadly bacteria, and nothing happened. A guy named Dr. Klein drank a glass full of cholera bacteria. He didn't get sick. He stayed perfectly fine. Another researcher named Pettenkofer did the same thing. Dr. Thresh drank typhoid bacteria. Nothing. If these germs were the cause, these men should have been dead. But they weren't, because the germ is not the cause. Even the Spanish flu, the deadliest pandemic ever, couldn't be proven to be contagious. They did experiments at Gallup's Island where they took sick people and had them cough directly into the faces of healthy people. They injected them with mucus. They tried everything to make the healthy people sick, and they couldn't do it. Not one person got the flu. So why do we still believe this? Because it's profitable. If you believe the enemy is invisible and floating in the air, you will buy the serums, the vaccines, and the drugs. Dr. Snow pointed this out back in 1913. He said that powerful financial interests were propping up the decaying germ theory because they had millions of dollars invested in it. They manipulated statistics and hid the failures to keep the scam going. The truth is, disease comes from within. It comes from stagnant blood, toxins, and a polluted system. The remedy isn't to poison the body to kill a phantom germ. It's to clean the blood and restore circulation. The osteopaths in El Paso proved this by curing thousands of cases of all types of diseases just by fixing the body's structure and flow, without drugs. We have been looking at disease completely backwards. We are so afraid of the invisible boogeyman that we forgot that we are in control of our own health. The germ is nothing. The terrain is everything. Stop fearing the scavenger and start cleaning up the house. The germ theory is a fraud, and it's time the house of cards finally fell down.